Let's go back to when you first got your permanent teeth in your mouth 24 hours after surgery. What did they feel like? Did they feel weird?
Uh, They felt heavy. I had to practice enunciating my words.
Have you had to go back to pay for anything extra or?
I called Nuvia. I'm like, I need to come see you guys.
Angel's here to share what it's really like getting full mouth dental implants, what she loved,
It's amazing what having teeth can do for your health.
what was a little frustrating,
No one has that kind of money just lying around.
and whether it was all worth it in the end. You ready, Angel?
I'm ready.
All right, Angel, let's start with surgery itself.
Okay.
You went in and had your remaining teeth removed. You had your implants placed.
Yes.
What do you remember most about that part of the process? Did you feel anything during surgery? What was that like?
So, no, I didn't feel a single thing. I went into the room, my nursing, my doctor, everybody was there. They were just asking me questions, making sure I knew what to expect. And I was free to ask all my questions. They just said, okay, we're going to get started. And then it was just gone.
So you were asleep the whole procedure. You didn't hear, feel, see anything?
Nothing at all. I promise it was honestly, they did it. I was talking to the doctor and he's looking at me like, okay, count backwards. And the next thing I know, I didn't remember a single thing.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, what was going through your head when you did wake up?
I honestly didn't remember any of it. I did not remember a single thing. So when I saw them the next day, they were just like, you were so kind and you were apologizing to us for the mess that you were making. You were drooling and you were saying, I'm sorry. I didn't recall.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I've definitely heard, I feel like, similar things from different patients.
It's
It's always so
interesting.
interesting. Very interesting. Well, what about, kind of when you were not as groggy anymore, you went home,
Yeah.
did you start to feel any discomfort or swelling and any frustrations there?
So there was discomfort. I had a little bit of discomfort, but it wasn't really pain for me. As long as I took the medication around the clock like they suggested and did the rinsing, I was okay. It was just one day I forgot to ice, and it was just pressure. And I was like, never again. I'm going to ice around the clock. And everybody in the Nuvia group was really supportive with that. So I knew I just needed to do what they said. So they gave me ibuprofen and they gave me another pain med. And so you alternate. You take your ibuprofen, you take your other one. One is kind of stronger than the other. And you just alternate for the first like 12 or so hours. And then the next day you go in and get your teeth. So honestly, as long as I took the meds on time and iced, I didn't have any pain. It was just the pressure. My mouth was just I was honestly smiling a lot, so that was probably the the problem. I was smiling even without my teeth, so that was probably my fault.
Oh, I love it. So your cheeks were hurting a little bit from surgery, but a
Yeah.
little bit from the smiling. I love it.
Yeah.
Was there anything else about the procedure itself that stood out to you? Something that you liked about, like, the surgery process? It sounds like you got your teeth 24 hours
Same.
after surgery, so was that something you liked? Can you kind of talk about that?
Yes, I absolutely loved that because I had already been researching implants for a couple years. I had started the process about 2 years before Nuvia with another location that offered me 10 months, and it was gonna be removal, dentures, then swelling, and then resizing, and then dentures, and then you go back, and that as a trainer, that was too much for me. So the 24 hours was actually a godsend. It was amazing. I would not have done it any other way.
So you're saying you went to a place where you would be in a temporary set of teeth for up to 10 months until you get that permanent, but at Nuvia, you got your permanent teeth 24 hours after surgery.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Nuvia in general?
So Nuvia was unlike any other place I had ever been. I have a dental phobia since I was a little girl. But from the time I did my call to when I came in to do the consultation to the smile design, I saw the same people. I talked to the same individuals. I got the same smiling faces. Everybody was kind. They were encouraging. It was like meeting a new family. Honestly, I've never had an experience like that before, and throughout the entire process, I never felt more supported. I didn't have that fear when I went into the surgery because everybody was just like, "Okay, we're gonna get your teeth and it's gonna be great." It just was to me, it was the best experience I could have ever asked for. It was amazing. honestly.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. And also, you mentioning a dental phobia, getting your teeth 24 hours after surgery instead of going to these, maybe appointment after appointment, waiting to get your permanent set. I feel like that could also you're not gonna be back in a chair as much is what it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely not. So you go, of course, you have your surgery, and then the next day you get your teeth. So you come back about 2 weeks later. That's when they just check to see how you're healing. At that point in time, you get to use a straw, you get to do some flossing, and you get eat a few more, like a little bit more textured foods. And then you come back at your 4 month. And after that, you're kind of cleared and you don't come back until a year later.
Wow,
Yeah, it's amazing.
that's incredible. Why else did you like that 24-hour process? Like, what about that speed was important to you?
Well, a lot of reasons. As I mentioned, I'm a trainer, so I am people facing every day on camera. I have to get up and speak. I have to get presentations. So to be without my teeth for such a long time was just not going to work for me. Not only because of my professional aspect, but I was gonna lose a lot of my confidence. I'm a huge smiler, and to feel like I have to hide that, that was just not going to work for me. So being able to say, "Okay, I'm gonna have surgery on Thursday, and then Friday I have my teeth," was unlike anything I could ever have imagined, but it was important to me, not just for work, but for my own self-esteem.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are also wondering though, like, whoa, this process is so quick, but how much would it cost then? Do people have to be rich to afford something like this? Was this something that you first like thought about when you were looking into the process initially?
So I did think about it. Honestly, I'm gonna say it was much better than what was quoted to me for the 10-month process. It was way better than that. But no one has that kind of money just lying around, right? So when I went into the consultation, I had really no idea other than what I saw in the cost guide what my costs might be. But I had talked to my husband about it beforehand, and I said, if they offer financing, I want to do that. So they did. And I just paid my down deposit and then the rest I did through financing. So I don't feel like you have to be rich. You just have to go in with an expectancy that it's going to cost something. Your cost may not match someone else's, but it's worth it. It is worth it to me.
And if someone's wondering where they could find that cost guide that you just mentioned to find out maybe kind of a range of what this could cost them,
Yeah.
where would they find that?
Click that link below. There's going to be a link right there. Click it, read it, absorb it. You'll need it.
Awesome. All right. Well, I do want to ask too, when you got those financing options, was that happening right in the office? Can you kind of walk me a little bit further on like what that looked like?
Sure. So during my consultation, we discussed all the ins, the outs, what it would be, how much it would, the process would take. And then once we discussed what my deposit was going to be, we immediately talked about what financing would look like. So honestly, at least for me, everything happened in that first initial consultation. So, yes, I did know when I went in there, I was willing to do it. I wanted to do it. And once they asked me, like, okay, so is this something you're interested in? And I said yes, then we talked finances. And once we did that, my clearances came through from the lenders. And after that, was just, it was already done. It was like, okay, so your next thing is your smile design and surgery. And I'm just like, okay, well, that was easy.
You're like, wait, already?
Yeah, I was like, "That's it?" And she's like, "Yeah, congratulations." And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness.
"Yes, congratulations."
Well, so ever since you got, that price of what your payment plans were going to be each month, has that price changed at all? And have you had to go back to pay for anything extra, or what about that part of it?
No, so with me doing financing, all of my payment was immediately given to Nuvia at that time, and then the payments were left for me to give to the lenders. So the price never changed. It was already paid upfront by the lenders, and I just paid my monthly payments to them. So no hidden costs, no hidden fees. They are very direct and they tell you exactly what it's going to be and you know ahead of time what you're looking at so you can make a sound decision.
I'm sure that's very comforting to hear from some people. You never want to get that bill in the mail months down the line and you're like, what?
No, why do
And
not do that. Just pay your
well,
payments on
good.
time. That's what I will say. Make your payments on time and you're okay.
There you go. Well, and does that include the anesthesia and wow.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's really awesome.
I
That would definitely give me some peace of mind.
It was amazing. I keep saying that it was amazing, but it really was. I honestly, until I found the Nuvia Smile Maker group, I did not believe Nuvia was real. And then I went to Nuvia and I had the consultation and I saw the people in the Smile Maker group in the videos. And I said, no, these are real people. This is legitimate. I saw their stories. It's just amazing. So no, not having that hidden cost behind or something looming over me after getting it done was really, really amazing. That's the only word I could say.
Well, all right, let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back to when you first got your permanent teeth in your mouth 24 hours after surgery. What did they feel like? Did they feel weird? What are some early, maybe frustrations or challenges in those early days?
So they didn't feel weird, they felt heavy because I had already lost so many teeth. My mouth was used to being lighter. And once they got put in, the pressure was gone, which is ironic because they're just, they put those in, but they just felt a little heavier. It took a little getting used to, like, my mouth felt heavier, so I had to practice enunciating my words. I always had a lisp, and so to suddenly not quite have a lisp was a little weird, but I had a lisp because of the swelling, but once it went away, I was just like, "Okay, so now I need to learn how I sound now." And I'm a singer, so I had to get used to singing with my new teeth, but they didn't feel weird, they just took some adjusting, that's all.
I mean, I can imagine it's a whole new foreign object in your mouth, right? And especially with if you were missing some teeth before, I can imagine now it's like where your tongue, like, was your tongue going everywhere?
Oh my god, yes. It's, when someone I hope this comes across the right way. When you lose a limb and you have that phantom limb, my tongue was so used to touching those holes that without even thinking, I'm like, "Wait, there's something there." Like, it took a little moment. I will be honest, for about a week or 2, I had a little dysmorphia because I was so used to seeing my smile a certain way. When I would go into the mirror, it was just like, "Is this really me? No, it's really you. No, it can't be me." And so it took me a while to just adjust with that, not necessarily my teeth, but being able to, um, accept that I finally did something that was good for me and accept the fact that it was really me and I could enjoy it. That was the hardest challenge for me.
And how long do you think it took to I mean, do you feel like it's you now, or
Oh,
is it
God,
still
yes.
kind of taking some time? You're like, "Yes."
Oh, yes, yes. I just as soon as I left, when they put the teeth in, they're like, "Okay, give your mouth some time." The first thing I did when I walked out the door was made a video for TikTok, and I was just like, "Hey, y'all, look at me," And after that, I called everybody. I was just calling everybody, just like, "Look, look, look," and then my mouth was just like, "Okay, stop, stop smiling so much." But it is definitely me now. When I compare the pictures before, I loved my smile before, but all I see when I look at that is the pain. I see the sadness. I see the opportunities missed to go out to eat or the times where I would feel like I have to hide myself. So this is me, but better.
I love that, and, well, that's what I've learned too, hearing a lot of patient stories is it's way more than just the smile. There's so many things underneath it that is being changed with this transformation, and I think that's what makes it so powerful, right?
Yes. I didn't realize how much my health was affected by losing teeth. I lost teeth because I was pregnant multiple years in a row, so I literally lost calcium. And my youngest son was born calcium deficient because I didn't have anything to give him. And I was constantly paying for dental work that no one was telling me was going to be able to stay because there was no real strong foundation. And because of that, I ended up with an umbilical hernia. So I wasn't able to process and digest the food. So I was having indigestion issues. There were issues with um my processing through my body, if you know what I mean. It was just horrible. I had no idea. And now all those things are just like like they never existed. It's amazing what having teeth and just being able to process your food can do for your health.
Yes, you said it perfectly. Was it weird though at first trying to use them to eat? I want to hear about that. Oh, it sounds like you have a story.
Yes, it was weird. So you have to start on a soft food diet, and they say, well, you can have meat as long as it's, you know, pretty soft and ground up. I was eating lo mein and hot and sour soup for like the first 2 weeks. I would just mush up the lo mein very, very small. And then one day I was like, I need protein. So I went to make an egg scramble and I scrambled the meat so tiny, and I mean tiny, it got up under it got all the way up under my gums, and I wasn't allowed to water pick yet. And so I'm just like swishing and swishing, and it wasn't coming out. And I called Nuvia. I'm like, I need to come see you guys because there's like food under here and I can't get it out. And they're like, come on in. So I went the very next day. They were able to flush me out because I'm like, take them out. You need to get this from under there. And they're like, no, we're good. We're just going to flush you out. And they did. And I said, okay. I will not do that again. So I just stayed with the very fine foods that I knew could come out like egg or noodle. Meat was not for me because it got stuck and I didn't want to go there again. But it was other than that, it was fine.
Oh my goodness. So what about now? Do you have any trouble with eating your meat or
Oh my gosh,
I
no.
feel like that was just a learning curve?
At my 4-month appointment, the first thing my husband did was take me to go and get steak and baked potato and salad with croutons. And I'm looking at all this food. Mind you, I haven't been able to eat a lot of things for years. So I'm just like, this is a lot of food. You want me to chew this? And he's like, yes. So I took a bite of the bread that they put on the table, and it was like the best bread of my life. Just being able to chew the crust and the butter, it was amazing, and the steak was delicious, the croutons were crunchy, but the thing I really wanted to eat was my flaming hot peanuts that I loved. I had not had those for years, and I actually posted that video on the Nubia group, but eating those peanuts was the most joyous thing I had ever felt. It was just I can't even describe it. I was so happy to eat some peanuts.
I mean, it's the small things, right? Like,
Yes. It was amazing. I love it. I'm thankful to Nuvia every single day. Every single day.
is that even your favorite thing that you've been able to eat, or is there what else? What else? Tell me more.
I kinda went nut crazy. I'm just gonna be honest. Walnuts, cashews, peanuts, pecans, I just went crazy. Um, but the best thing for me is knowing that my family, like my children, my husband, my mom, my dad, all of them knowing that I did this not because I just wanted to have a cosmetic thing done, but because I knew I needed to be healthy and it was to better me and to give me a longevity of life. And so that's the best part for me, not just the smile, not just the food, knowing that I'm healthier.
Absolutely. And well, one, now that you have these strong zirconia teeth, there's zirconia, right?
Yes.
That can ground your food down, that can allow you to eat different types of food. Now your body can digest it. I mean, do you want to kind of talk about that briefly of like how it's led to that, like led to better health for you?
So before, because I was like, I only really had front teeth, I didn't have any grinders. I was swallowing chunks of food without realizing it because I'm thinking I'm chewing it, but your front teeth don't really break it down as much. And so it's causing digestive issues from the top down. I had no idea how uncomfortable I was living before until I no longer had the discomfort. It was, I won't cry. I feel like I'm going to cry, but it genuinely changed my life for the better.
I mean, I can't even imagine. And the fact that you said you didn't even realize it was how bad it was affecting you. I feel like I've heard so many different stories to where I felt like this before. I felt like this before, but when my teeth were removed, when I could start chewing again, same type of different, but same situation, right? Like I had no idea I was living in so much pain, you know? They're like, oh, after surgery, you expect it to be painful. It's like, I actually felt better.
Yes.
Like who would have thought that? Not me. I would have not.
I would never have guessed. You get so used to living in pain You get so used to saying, no, I can't come out. No, I can't eat that, or pretending that you're eating so that you could fit in, that when you finally have a change, you just look back and say, God, I wasn't really living at all. I was just making it, maybe. Um, I would have never guessed. I seriously thought I was gonna be in a lot of pain, and I wasn't. So, yeah, even after they took my teeth, I'm on there smiling with nothing in my mouth, calling people just happy. It was the weirdest thing ever, but it was less painful than getting a root canal. I've had root canals that were worse.
Wow.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have to ask you too, what has this done for your confidence? What has this done for even, mental health wise? Like, how has that been?
Ooh, confidence.
I mean,
So
you seem like you're a confidence queen already, but
I'm actually an introvert, believe it or not. I genuinely I still smiled. Even when I did not have teeth, I still smiled, but internally it bothered me. Internally, I would think people were looking directly at my mouth. And now I still smile and I know people are looking directly at my mouth and they're just like, God, your smile is so beautiful. So in a way, it gave me that kind of confidence to not feel strange that people are looking at me, not in a conceited way, but um, I felt strangely more confident in my own skin. That's hard to explain, but I didn't feel as nervous to be me.
that makes sense. No, it's like you're not thinking about less of like, oh, are they looking here? Are they looking here?
Yeah.
But like, you can look wherever now.
Yeah. Now just, hey.
And so I know originally you said your teeth felt kind of like big at first. What do they feel like now?
I don't even notice them anymore. I don't. They're just my teeth. Of course, you have to adjust to having a full mouth of teeth. You have to, your tongue has to adjust, right? Because you're moving it around. You're used to emptiness. My tongue has room. I have the ability to speak without biting my cheeks. But it really took a little adjusting, but they're mine. I don't notice them anymore. They don't feel like implants.
Right.
Yeah.
And how does it feel knowing like, hey, these things aren't coming out, like they're permanent? What does that feel like?
It's kind of cool. I feel
I can
quite
imagine.
bionic.
Oh, I love that. Yes, you are bionic.
I actually had a CAT scan and I'm like, I'm being wheeled in there. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot to tell you I have teeth. And they're like, yep, we saw them. We thought about asking you to remove them. And I said, yeah, I can't do that. And they're like, oh, you're okay. It's fine. I'm like, are you sure? And they said, yeah, no, it's not the kind of metal that's bad. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, no, they don't now.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's kind of funny that you didn't even remember like you had them in there. Like that shows how you're literally not thinking about them anymore. So that's really, really cool.
I was just going to say the best compliment with that, not really thinking about it. People that have known me all my life have not realized I got my teeth done, which is amazing to me because they're so used to me smiling. They're like, you had your teeth done when? And I'm just like, yeah, these are mine. And they can't believe it. So that's why it's so easy for me to not think about it because even the people that have known me don't think about it.
Right. And well, the thing is too, like when I'm meeting you today, like it's hard for me to believe those are not yours. I mean, they are yours. They are yours now, but like I can't see past that. Like they look so natural and they look so incredible on you that like you could tell me that you're just some random person and I'd be like, "Oh." So truly, you look beautiful. You
Thank
look very
you.
beautiful.
I cannot take all the credit. My cousin went with me for my smile design, and between her and the tech Bella, they helped me pick the right thing. So I give this to anybody who asks, take someone that you trust to help you pick your smile because we don't really get to see how we look really. And so I was like, well, what do you think about natural and A1? And she was like, okay, well, let's see. And I was like, yeah, that's not too bright. And Bella said, well, let me hold it to the light. And she did. And I was like, oh, no, that's too much for me. And they said, well, rounded looks more like your natural smile. And so they helped me be able to see me. And that's honestly why I feel like it looks natural because I had help. I would have done all the wrong thing.
I'm sure you would look great, but no, that is some great advice because you're right. They're the ones gonna be looking at it
How
from
was
that
that?
POV, right? So, awesome. Well, I just have one last question for you, Angel. With everything, your whole experience, it's almost been a year. I think you said or almost 8 months.
Mhm. It'll be 8 months next month.
8 months. After everything, even these, small little moments where you're getting beef stuck in between the stuck in between your teeth or, maybe working with this list that you have.
Yeah.
After all those little things, has it been worth it? Are you happy with your choice or do you regret it at all?
Every single day, I am thankful. Every single day. And I tell people I would do it a million times over. I don't care how much it costs me a month. I would do it a million times over because the long run, it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself and my family.
Yeah, it's not even just you, like you said, it ripple effect
Yeah,
out on your family, right? Like,
absolutely.
that's how powerful it is. So, well, Angel, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story. I know it's going to help a lot of others that are maybe looking to get something like this done. And remember, if you're watching, make sure to download that dental implant cost guide that Angel recommended to you. And until next time,
Keep
keep smiling.
smiling.